Hey, welcome back to the Baco Motorsports Power Hour. I'm Mike Griffith. Blake Bowser is here. The Auto Club Famoso Raceway segment still here. And, wow, season's winding down for you.
We're getting close.
This
one will get us over the hump for sure.
Yeah.
This weekend coming up. So, and last weekend was a big
Yeah.
over the hump getter.
Last weekend, the final American Nostalgia Racing Association event of the season, 404. This weekend, the California Hot Rod Reunion, 25th annual. First off, we can get into ANRA.
Yeah,
299 entries, you said.
that's right. One short of 300 cars.
The magic number. And
Yeah.
he had, I think, 300 at the season opening.
I think so.
Right around there, but
yeah, maybe a little over. Yeah,
maybe a little
yeah,
over.
about the average for the
so
year.
right there.
Yeah,
What? And this started a few years ago with a whole lot less than 300 race cars.
it did. Yeah. He used to race over in Palmdale when LACR was open, and I think he averaged 60 cars, something like that, and moved it to Bakersfield. Been there for, gosh, this 5 or 6 years now, maybe 7. I've lost track.
Bit
It's
by
been
bit,
quite a
and
while.
this year
It
is
just-
probably the best overall.
His
attendance,
best average for the
best
year.
average for the year.
for
Because a couple of these races, let's face it, it's hot as Hades out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, not the early race, not the late race generally,
Right.
but the two in the middle can be pretty toasty.
Yeah.
But pretty good show because he tries to get it over early on Saturdays, so you're
Right.
done, and then just race on Sunday home. Boom. So about 16
Categories.
different categories.
Yeah,
classes.
he's got a lot. Boy, he's got what, 4 for juniors plus the junior comp. That's 5 right
Yeah.
there, and then all the gassers and nostalgia classes and
And
sportsman, hot rod, open wheel, and
of course, Mr. Tom Oct was out there. So if
Yeah.
Chris can show some of those slides from Andrew, I'll talk about some of the results just here. Tom's taking an Infinity. He likes to go up to the top end now.
Yeah, I
He's
noticed that. He was down
comfortable
there hanging
Yeah,
out, yeah.
So I think local winners this week, looking around, David Mallory in C-Gas won his class. A.J. Cameron doubled up. E-Gas win
yeah,
and a hot rod win.
coming off that high school win over in
And high school
Vegas,
wins, which
so-
means, guess what?
Yeah.
AJ's on the all-area team. There you go, AJ. And Pam Hulls out of Porterville got the
Yeah.
sportsman win. And Abigail Rogers in Junior
Dragster.
8 to
Yeah.
9 got the win. And good for her because
She had a rough year.
she had a rough year
Yeah.
early on. I think we've talked about this, but the trailer and
Yeah.
the car were stolen from her parents' front
Right out in
yard,
front of the
basically.
house. Yeah.
They found it. I mean, social media is just a great thing today. You see a lot of stolen rigs, variety, barbecue trucks,
Right.
race car trailers, work trucks, everything. Social media gets the word out. It spreads fast. They found the dragster in an orchard, I believe, in the Lamont area. Minimal damage, all things considered.
Right.
Able to get going again, and then she ends up winning a race.
Finishing off on a high note.
Finish
That's
off
good.
on a high note. And as far as champions, Jason Barta, Bakersfield,
Yep.
NE1. Tim Gorman, Bakersfield, D-Gas champion. Josh Wagner, E-Gas. And Josh won Hot Rod, I believe, last year, the champion.
Last year, I think it was. Yeah, you're right.
And Steve Archuleta out of Tehachapi is your
Yep.
Hot Rod champion this year. And Abigail won the junior dragster title. So
Yeah.
congratulations to them.
Well represented. Yeah.
Well
that's good.
represented, and that's more than 25%. I can do math.
Yeah.
That's more than
It's pretty good.
25% of the classes. That's pretty good for the local
Yeah,
drivers.
yeah.
So congratulations to them. What a stellar deal to do that. 'Cause
Yep.
there's,
Dates are set for next
if
year.
you look at a few
so-
of these, few of those classes out there, there's a lot of cars.
And it's competitive. Yeah, I mean, just having a lot of cars is one thing, but having a lot of cars and they're also very competitive. That means you've when you win D-Gas in ANRA, I mean, you've done.
Yeah, there's
You know,
you've
there's some
done-
hitters.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
guys out there, and they're
Yeah.
all running.
Oh yeah,
close to
they're running right there.
960s.
And they're not just running ANRA; they're running the Heritage Series. They're running whatever else they can do, and
Right.
they're out there every weekend somewhere, and they're that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we've got the finale of the Heritage Series, the 25th annual California Hot Rod Reunion coming up. We talked earlier in the first segment about how this started as a one-off deal. And real quick, Chris is going to show this slide. I've got to stop. This is the late Mindy Fry. I say the late Mindy Fry because she went to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Her and a Mr. Cole Kuntz. And
Yeah.
very quietly, I don't think they told a lot of people.
And came back differently.
She came back differently. She's a married woman. I believe she's still going by Mindy Fry, but because who wants to go by Mindy Kuntz? It just doesn't sound good. That leaves a bad taste in your mouth there. So
well, that's what my wife and I did. We went to Hawaii and got married too.
Did you? So they got married in Hawaii a couple weeks ago, and some great photos shared on Facebook from Mr. Kuntz there. So she's going to be racing in the Dark Side Funny Car coming up.
Okay, good deal.
So good deal for her. And we're showing these slides of the
Top Fuel
dragsters, Tony Bartone. And we had
Adam Sorokin.
And now Jim Murphy. Go ahead and stay on that Jim Murphy slide for a while, Chris, because we're going to talk Top Fuel. We don't know who's going to win this title here.
It's going to be a qualifying is very important, and going rounds is going to be the deciding factor.
You're going to have
for sure
13 to 16 cars.
Yeah.
Only 8 are going to make it.
Yep.
The good news is you've got 3 hits to get in. In past years at this race, it was 2.
Right.
And that's a scary deal when you're running a nitro car and you've only got 2 chances to get down the track.
And there's no test and tune leading up to it, so a lot of guys are scrambling trying to get some test and tune laps in because they know before they only had 2. Now they have 3, but even that, you can go out there on Friday. For Top Fuel's got 1 hit Friday, something goes silly, you lose that run. Now you're down to 2 on Saturday, and you just never know.
You never know. I've seen John Hale out there not make the show in Funny Car.
Well, I think it was this March meet a year or 2 ago. Bob McLennan, the same thing. His car, Adam's car, they didn't make it. They just things happened, and
things happen. I know you go out there, you shake the tires, and that's very, very easy to do on these cars.
Is.
You spin the tires.
That's
another easy thing to do, especially 300-400 feet down the track. Sometimes that you come in.
Well, they don't always want to go straight too. You're doing that too.
And they don't always go straight.
To go left or right, so you got to compensate.
And
for that.
Adam's car.
His car wants to go up in the air.
His car looks like a D gas car or C gas car. It's pulling wheelies all the time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adam, for that. Great videos.
Little photo up there, huh?
But Bartone is, I believe, he's like 22 points. Is that what it says here?
It's pretty close. I don't know the exacts, but that's a round of racing.
So a round of racing. He's less than 1 round. So I think he's around 17 or 18 points. Little release from Cole Kuntz here. Ahead of Murphy and Sorokin. So those guys are with him around.
Yeah.
And Williamson, who won the
March meet,
is 30 points. That's a round and a half.
Yep.
Priority.
That's half the field right there. So if
half
they qualify,
if they all make it,
it's going to be you got to get in first.
You got to get in, and we've seen Bartone just overpower the track, which he did at the March meet.
Right. And with this 8-car field, you're going to see these guys have to get out there and qualify. So that's good for the fans.
I want to say good for NHRA for going for 3 rounds of qualifying because these guys really need it. They're nitro cars, and if you can get 3 rounds in, you need 3 rounds in. So you got that, and then we've got the funny cars. That's a done deal, and
that's clinched. Yeah. Chris Crable's got that locked up, but you know what? There's still some bragging rights to win that race. So there's a lot of guys want to come and win. I mean, the reunions. When you win Bakersfield, you've done something.
You've done something.
It's the highest car count every year. We've got 33 funny cars coming. So
33 funny cars
to win that class
for a 16-car field.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a lot of guys who weren't racing the Hot Rod Heritage Series. They've been out chasing IHRA points.
Jason Rupert,
John Hale.
Sanders, I think. I don't know if Sanders is coming or not. But I know Rupert and Hale are. Yeah, they've been out all year long chasing that championship.
And is Cruz coming?
Back. No, Cruz. He was going to be coming, but he decided to get some things worked out on his big car.
Yeah, because Cruz
got to get that in order. He's prepping for next year.
Yeah. Cruz will probably be here in the March.
And I could respect that. That's cool.
Because Cruz, Pettigrew, speaking of, has struggled on the big show.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he missed the countdown this year, so he's getting some things sorted out.
So he's got to get that hot rod figured out.
Yeah.
Try to do some things there. So
but it's going to be a doozy. We got all A Fuel new. In fact, we got a new driver, a local Rick Ewens is going to be in a new A Fuel car.
Who is that?
Bought that car from the Arizona, the A Fuel car out of Arizona. I'm drawing a blank right now on his name. They tested there on Monday.
That wasn't Tony Waters' car.
No, it wasn't. I'll think of it. We can,
so
come
what's
to me
his name,
here.
Rick?
Ewens.
Ewens.
Rick. He used to race alcohol rear motor cars back in the NHRA division racing days and all that. So he's in a front motor A Fuel car now.
A Fuel car, and the A Fuel
cars
cars
on Monday,
which is an interesting category, can be Actually, injected nitro car
or blown
alcohol.
That's right, and their car is a blown alcohol car.
And the blown alcohol car is probably a little easier to tune.
Yeah, a little better off the lights, but top end, the injected cars come on.
Maybe less expensive, but those blown injected cars,
injected nitro cars,
the injected nitro cars,
they come on towards the end there. So yeah.
And so, two distinct sounds. Those alcohol cars, they bring the RPMs up, and they're screaming when they leave the line.
Right.
So a little different than a blown nitro car for
sure. A lot of
sure.
junior fuel cars coming, a NAGAS, Nostalgia 1. It's going to be a great, and the cackle cars, they're out there lined up for that. Now, things for that on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for this race.
Yeah, and in addition, we've got, I'm wearing my shirt and honor it, old school.
Yep, I like that. Yeah,
you got to love it. We got the old school Altereds are going to be out there running, so they'll be running all 3 days.
That's why we're getting some. Our funny car count is the reunion selects only the old school style Altereds. Unlike the March meet, we let any Altered run on a 6.0 index. They go for the more of the Winged Express and the Bradford car,
Pure Hell,
and all that.
Pure Heaven.
So. Rat Trap,
and great
which is
names.
cool.
Pure Hell,
they all
Pure
got
Heaven,
names,
Rat
they all
Trap,
got history,
and they're like Pure Heaven 2, Rat Trap 2 now.
Right. But some of the bigger wheelbase Altereds, they're just throwing funny car bodies on them, and they're going to show up.
What we consider as being the modern fuel Altered, the sleek fuel Altereds.
Yeah, exactly.
They just, which is on a funny car chassis.
Right.
Same
size
body
chassis. Put a body on it and try and qualify in funny cars. So that's
helping
the funny car count.
You might be able to qualify. We've got that. And, Ring of Fire Friday night.
That's Friday night.
Which is a static start.
That's correct.
For the cackle cars cackle cars, let's go over this. These are the restored or recreated period correct cars from the 50s,
late 50s, right?
60s.
Yeah.
You see like the glass slipper, a very famous
those are more of the late 50s style,
50
then
car,
into the 60s.
And then you go on up in the 60s. And the true shorter wheelbase front motor car, not like the what we call the nostalgia front motor car, which is an elongated wheelbase.
In fact, there's going to be a rebuild. It's done. It's going to be here of Connie Coletta's 1964 March meet winning top fuel car. Will be here. Alan Bridges has rebuilt that, and he's the guy that's at the Simpson rig every year. He tours the country selling all the Simpson safety equipment. He has rebuilt that car, and he'll be here at this race.
So if this is like you go to the Hot Rod Reunion. It's kind of like going to a museum because all these cackle cars they'll have the first couple, 3, 4 rows when you
first
come in. Right south of the staging lanes are going to be all the cackle cars. Then below them will be the nitro cars.
Right.
But they've got the Ring of Fire, which is a static start.
Yes, up in the starting line, the pad. They call it the pad. It's the where the cars prep, get ready for the run, put the starters on, all that. That'll area be covered in cars up there on Friday night. You're right.
Firing up at the end of the Friday night festivities, and then a little change to the Cackle Fest this year. That's always been on Saturday evenings around 6 o'clock at the 6 to 7ish after the end of the racing.
Yep.
And this started with about 8 cars we talked about in the first segment, and they would push start these like the old days up the return road in front of the grandstands. They get going about 30, 35 miles an hour. Cars come to life.
Right.
They cackle, they idle along, make the turn. They go out onto the drag strip and sit there and idle basically until they ran out of fuel.
Exactly.
And it started with 8, and it grew to about 20,
then
about 30, then about 50, then about 80.
And I think last year's count was about that.
Yeah. and the interesting thing is everybody's got into the thing, so they're often push started with very nice restored period correct cars,
tow vehicles,
which is a little different than it really was because I remember James and Roger Corbin pushing with an old Chevrolet station wagon. Not painted up, not fancied up. That was their work wagon. They worked out of the back of it. They push started it. It needed
it took
paint.
Naps in it.
Come on, took naps in it. But anyway, this is what it's morphed into, and NHRA has ratcheted that back this year, maybe for a variety of reasons. First, I heard they weren't going to allow any push starts, and now apparently they've selected 40 of these cackle cars.
That's what I'm hearing too. I don't know all the facts.
To be push started, but there's apparently going to be some push start and other static starts on Saturday. But anyway, a pretty good deal.
And then we'll do that again on Sunday with another stat before first round. I'll have some cars out there in front of the grandstands in that first area by the starting line, and we'll fire them up again. So it's going to be a big weekend for Cackle Fest
weekend. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say that they're honoring all past honorees, basically.
That's right.
at this reunion. The reunion traditionally names half a dozen or
Yeah,
so
thereabouts.
of the pioneers of the sport to be honored
Right.
for their contributions to drag racing. Instead of doing a grand marshal this year or any honorees, they're just going to honor everybody who has ever been honored in the
That's
past, and a big thank you to them for bringing the sport to the level
Yeah,
it is
and
today.
even if someone's passed, their family's been invited out.
Right.
Like, obviously a personal attachment for me is Jack Williams, and his son and daughter have been sent tickets and invited out to the event. So
so
they're going to
good
go
deal.
through the list of anybody who's been an honoree and
a good deal, and
give them some tribute there.
some
that
pretty
weekend.
good racing to go with it as well.
You bet. And weather couldn't be better, so they're going to
Well,
run well.
It's going to be the run well. It's going to be a little warm.
Yeah,
You're
a
gonna have
little
to
bit,
figure out how to
but
run at about 88
I meant for beer
degrees.
sales. I was thinking
the weather's
more
going to be great for beer sales.
Yeah.
For running, I think those early morning
Could
runs.
be a little touchy.
Anybody who runs about 11, that's probably going to be, well, without a doubt, the best
Optimal.
air of the day until you get down to that. I saw some of these times they're a little optimistic on a half-hour qualifying session for some of these cars.
For what? For what session? For what group?
Top field half-hour qualifying session. I'm going.
We're not a 4-wide track.
What planet is that? But anyway, so you get out there 4:30. The sun's going to be down. The track's going to be cooling.
Right.
You're going to see some good runs.
Definitely. Yeah. We'll go out there and make that track sticky. It'll be unstuck. So you'll hear the funny cars go out there and shift and
there you go.
kind of get pulled down. Be fun.
Last chance for Nitro in Bakersfield until March.
March, what is it, 2 through 5? I think it is the first weekend of March.
First weekend of March.
Yeah.
2017.
First full weekend, yeah.
The Good Vibrations.
March meet.
March meet.
Yeah.
So be there
Tickets
at the
are on
Hot Rod
sale.
Reunion and get ready for the March meet. So we're going to be back with the Kern County Raceway Park segment in a little bit. Steve Hughes is in there waiting with a couple of special guests. We'll see you in a minute.
Awesome.